always lovely to start the car. 44,959. Wow, time flies. Good afternoon. Been a while I didn't record video in this car because now mostly I do my Saturday morning drives in the Porsche and the BMW because I like the fact that they are cabriolets. But I do bring this car out on Sunday mornings, just a solo drive and not going anywhere, just got up SPE Highway and coming down Bukit Bintang area, KLCC area. It's a little bit magical when you drive around the central business district of your city at dawn, you know, where the sunlight just hit and people hasn't crowded the streets yet. The usually busy streets in the city were empty. The shopping malls have their screens glitzing about, but there are nobody. I kind of like that sort of scenery, you know. And yeah, anyway, you know, all of us were consumed by news of, you know, all the newspapers, you know, be it Straits Times or Star or whatnot, you know. Oh, they're writing news. Oh, Ringgit hits new low with US dollar. Ringgit hits new low and all that. I tell you what, I work in media, and most of the time, people who write short news that just talk about things that everybody are repeating are mostly from junior journalists. All right, they write things that they rarely write things that they are trying to argue a point or a perspective. They are merely confirming what everybody is talking about because that is the least risky, and also it's just sort of conforms to the general view, and then they get clicks online with scary titles. That's it. Negative news bring views. People are generally more clickety when it's negative news. But for those of you who know what's going on, it's like, hey, the US is the world's reserve currency. Every country recognizes US dollar. Every country needs US dollar to trade, you know? And US is a rampant legal money counterfeiting machine. They just keep printing dollars to pay interest rates, pay their bonds, and all that. They do it when they ran out of money, and after printing, they export their inflation to countries all over the world. Because when they print money, the entire world helps them dissolve it, or the entire world just absorbs whatever inflation that US exports out. So when US prints money, oh, the global share markets fly up, property prices went up, everybody scrambled to shop for properties, business expansion, blah blah blah. It looks good for a while, and then when it's time to collect back all these money, they raise their interest rates. When they raise their interest rates, the Federal Reserve raised their interest rates. Those who have car loans, housing loans in the US is gonna feel the pain, right? Because the interest rates are going up. It went crazy. But the benefit of this is that, of course, this has to couple with their usual tactics of creating uncertainty in other regions, right? So when Europe is in some kind of a turmoil, be it migrant crisis, back then 10 years ago there is an influx of migrants from countries like Syria, Libya, blah blah and all that. I mean, who is the one that destabilizes there, right? And now of course is the Eastern European side, all this crisis happening, in Middle East, some hornet's nest were being stirred. Yeah. And that's the perfect time, when you raise your interest rates, the investors, global investors will think, should I place my bet in Europe? Nah. Should I place my bet in Middle East? And of course, somebody's been stirring up stuffs around the East Asia area as well, right? And then the investors will go, should I put my bet in East Asia? Nah. Where's the safest? 6% interest rate in US. Let's dump it there for the time being. US Treasury bonds are the safest investments. Nobody's gonna stir up the North American continent, right? And that's how they absorb the globe's money. And when you have a currency that isn't denoted in US dollar, you will depreciate against the US dollar. I'm curious. I mean, people who complain, our government is doing nothing, ringgit is dropping, and then 30 minutes later, the same person begins buying US dollar. You are throwing your own currency away and buying US dollar, and everybody does that. 1,000 people does that, 100,000 people do that, 1 million people do that, and of course your currency is gonna drop. Duh, right? But in all essence, I think it is better for our currency to drop and triggering our export, right? And probably some FDIs. I know FDI is lower than last year. It's just because people are a bit wary and they prefer something safe. Something that doesn't require your... just imagine you're an investor, alright? You have 1 billion. You're like, should I build a semiconductor factory in Malaysia? Or I put 1 billion in United States for time being when the whole world looks like it's a mess? Of course you're gonna do the latter, right? Because the whole world seems like a mess. Better to put it somewhere that is safe instead of betting on something that with an unknown result, right? So, from my perspective, I applaud what our government is doing. Let the ringgit slide. What's interesting? For those of you who are studying in Australia, for those of you who have relatives or businesses or whatnot in Australia, tell me, is the ringgit sliding against the Australian dollar compared to what it was 10 years ago? It is the same. It is still $1, 1 Aussie dollar to 3 ringgit, right? For those of you who have businesses with Japan, or those of you who are Japanese companies operating in Malaysia, has the ringgit slide? Of course not, because globally we look at US dollar as the yardstick. So it is US dollar that is going up, right? And I know, Singapore is doing something. Singapore is different, alright? Because of their policy of welcoming whatever money, whatever it is, wherever it came from. So a lot of rich people are parking their money there as well, especially the mainland Chinese. They park their monies there, and that that sort of, I mean, a lot more things that the Singapore government has been doing. I mean, the Temasek Investment Holdings, I mean, no joke, they're doing proper stuff, okay? But that is also, Singapore dollar has gone up massively, all right? Also, not solely because in any way related to US dollar, they have their attraction on their own, all right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying that relax, because if ringgit don't drop, then it will be our property that drops. Which one do you prefer? Will you want the government to uphold the ringgit by matching our bank's interest rates with that of US dollar? Meaning, if our government goes out there and shout, hey, don't move your money to US. You know, I know they're giving you 6-7%. Guess what? We are raising banking interest, your I don't know, FD or whatnot, you know, the base points to 6 and 7% as well. Hooray! Now everybody can put their money in the banks and earn 6 to 7%. If they do that, your property loan, your car loans will be probably 8-9%. All right, I'm not a financial expert, but that's the basic logics of things, you know. If that's the base point, they have to mark up a little bit, right? When they give you commercial rates. Would you be happy if your housing loan is 8-9% or your car loan up to 10%, you know, like the 90s? No, right? What would happen if that happens? The entire property market, developer market, the whole thing will collapse. All right, nobody's going to buy properties, and existing properties will tank in value. The evaporation of wealth will happen, and Malaysia will go into a recession. Why? Right? So I really don't get all these silly, exact, new, young reporters, you know, writing all this nonsense without giving perspective or any form of knowledgeable dissection of what's going on. You know, they just rehash the rubbish news. You know, Malaysia is doing fine. Malaysia is doing fine. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that we are loaded with cash like Dubai or whatnot, but hey, we're getting along. You know, we're chugging along. We are not a rich country, but we are, I would say, relatively well managed, and the government is doing a lot of work out there. Okay, attracting investments, doing their stuffs basically. All right, and I applaud them for doing these things. Okay, so relax, chill a bit. Okay, and Malaysia should be fine. Malaysia will be fine. Okay, I don't want to park there. It's super hot. Yeah. It's the same with parking under a tree. You park under the tree, some branches fall on your car, and then you complain to the city council, then they chop the tree, and the next round you look for another tree to park. Right? Everything has a, you know, cause and effect. Alright. See you. Super hot weather. Yeah, I love everything about Malaysia except the weather. The weather. Somehow it's weird recently. If you look at the temperatures, right, it's like 30 degrees, 31 degrees. They don't read that hot, but they are hot. Always love the sound. Yeah, we all need a little bit of stuff to get us going, right? I mean, your hobby can be golf, that other person can be jet ski, another person can be gambling. Okay, even though I don't think gambling is a good idea. Yeah, everybody has their hobbies. Some people love shopping, some people love something else. I don't love anything except cars. Yeah. Yeah. That's what gets us going, right? If not, why do we even live, right? We live to discover our passion, and then if can, if it makes us happier, sometimes sad, when things break down and then it costs a lot of money and then you feel and then you just have to work hard and pay off the bills and but at the end of the day, isn't that what life is all about? Not everything is worthwhile, right? I mean, you can go for holiday. I love that. Careful, bro. Careful. Give me a break. Yeah. Yeah, you can go for a holiday and spend 20,000, and 1.5 weeks later you come back. It's all just memories, right? It's money spent. Come to think of it, sometimes I do felt if I don't spend that much on car maintenance or car payments, probably I can bring my family to holidays more often. But then sometimes I thought about it, hey, when they grow up they can go on their own. So, oh well, to each his own. Do what that makes you happy. If it doesn't, provided it doesn't make another person unhappy, just do what you love. Yeah, make the most out of it. We only live once. We only live once. Make it worthwhile. Alrighty. Take care. Cheers.